We are in Cannes, in a wonderful place, with two wonderful famous architects, Mr. Bonetti and Mr. Kozerski. I would like to know something about you, Enrico and Dominique.
I'm Enrico Bonetti. I'm Italian, and Dominic Kozerski here is English. I grew up in Italy, studied in Italy. Dominic did the same in London, and then we ended up meeting when we were working in the same office in the 1990s in New York. We were both working for the Peter Marino. We were both doing a project for the same client. I was doing a house in Milano, Dominic was doing a house in London. We became very good friends and then we realized we could work well together. In 2000 we had a chance to get a project for an apartment for a fashion designer, Donna Karan, and that's when we started our office.
As architects, we started the office with this very big apartment project for Donna Karan, which is common if you're an architect in New York City, because and it was a really spectacular project in the end that a lot of people saw. And with that, we were able to grow into other types of projects that we have always enjoyed. So we have also done a lot of hotels for people like Ian Schrager, who founded Studio 54 and then various other hotel brands. And then we also work in the art gallery space. We designed the headquarters for Pace Gallery in New York City. Of those typologies, that has given us work all the way around the world, in Asia, retail and hotels, houses in Europe and in the States. We always look for the latest new challenge that might excite us. And then about 7 or 8 years ago, Giovanna Vitelli got in touch with us from Benetti.
Yeah, so they were doing a new type of boat for Benetti. The design of the boat itself was very innovative because it was very open, lots of beach area. And they were looking for someone outside of the boat world. So we made the proposal, and then slowly we finally managed to do the first boat. But after the first one was presented in Portofino, because it was 2020, it was during COVID, it went very well.
I was there, I remember.
Yes.
Lovely, lovely.
And I would also say that there's a nice full circle happening here for us in Cannes, because we presented the Oasis project to the press here in Cannes on the beach. And Benetti always knows how to put on a good show, and it was a presentation on the beach with a party on the beach.
They already had the idea of opening up the beach area. What we tried to do was to bring the same sort of experience inside the boat. The hull was white. We brought these white surfaces when we made them very rich. It's the same finish that you have on a piano, but instead of being black, it's white. And it's on all the surfaces inside with rosewood trims around. And that becomes a sort of a non-color because it's not really white, it reflects everything that goes around.
You put something new inside this project.
Yeah, and also a sense of calmness and a rhythm throughout. So it wasn't a big jump from the outside to the interior. We brought the thick deck. We brought it inside, so the floor inside was also thick. It's a sort of, all the elements from outside would come in, and the more you walk toward the end of the boat, the more it become warmer and cocooning.
And that reflects a lot of our work in all our projects. We look at ways to reflect the architecture on the inside and have the inside reflect itself on the outside, both visually, as in light reflectance, but also materiality. The other thing that I feel that was a big difference, the way that we approached the Oasis, is without being in the yacht industry, we didn't really know what the unspoken rules of planning a boat. We just planned it and designed it the way that we would do any space. And we definitely understood it to be a vehicle, something that moves around the world, not a house that is static, that only has one view. We thought about all the views, that it could be in any orientation. It was really interesting for us not to think as architects designing a house. And in that way of forcing us to think differently, we think that we ended up thinking out of the box of perhaps the normal hierarchical set of rooms that's in a yacht.
At that moment, there were like sort of two trends. One was more classical, and the other one was more like an apartment, a condominium on the water.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
when the Oasis 40 was first launched, it was really the only boat with that type of interior. Now you see it sort of, sometimes ideas are in the air, so we just got there a little bit earlier, and then other people are there at this moment. So now we're developing it further. And also, again, what Dominic said, we had an advantage because we haven't done one before. So we thought that everything from, not because you do it like this, but we thought, why should we be like that? So that was our first approach. Our second approach now, it's having spoken to a lot of captains, to a lot of chiefs too, and everything,
So
and got all
more.
that feedback about use of the boat, because every project we do starts from a functional requirement.
Yeah.
And the functional requirement at the end creates the aesthetic face. We never start from
One material
or from
feature
from a mood board with these are the things, these are
so
just
beautiful.
no, we don't.
Sorry.
We don't do that. We try to solve problems, and if you solve problem in the right way, that the solution becomes unique. Even if it's unique, it's an aesthetic feature, and that creates the representation of the space. Yes.
You have spoken about also a gallery, art gallery. Which is your relationship with the art gallery, with art inside the yacht?
Since we've been working in the world of galleries, we developed very close connections and friendships with some of the top gallerists, particularly from Pace Gallery, from people like Arnie Glimcher, the founder of Pace, somebody that we've admired a long time, and his way of spotting art from 50 years ago that is now, the pinnacle of contemporary art. So in a way, when we look at art for our projects, we try to take that eye, and we don't look for what is trending now. We look for things that speak emotionally or perhaps to the space, and think about pieces like that complement.
Yeah.
And that's from a point of view of visual art and also three-dimensional art.
When we design an art gallery, we design a container, the scope of the container to display art. We're not designing our work. We're designing for the gallery with our work, with our design for this gallery and that gallery and that gallery, tries to attract artists, saying this place is very flexible for you. Your art is going to look better in this place. Your art is going to look better in that place. That's what we do. So on a boat, we try to create some areas, some walls that will benefit from art. But then it's up to the client to have good taste and find a good piece of art. So.
Wow, so we are so curious now to see your next project. Thank you for
Yes.
being with us.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.